Yeah, and I wonder if a lot of sort of cultural human evolution comes down to how we treat the outliers, right? Because in some places they're like regulated or arrested or put in jail or put in prison because people aren't comfortable with all the new things that they're dabbling with, right? So, when the internet came about, oh, what about the porn, the scam, or with crypto, with Bitcoin? Oh, what about like the black markets and everything like that? And now with like gene therapy, biotechnology, oh, what about the mad scientists? So there's something
Or
to
AI for that matter. AI is going to
exactly.
kill us, apparently. It's like, how?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know.
Mm.
But exactly. So the problem is this: outcasts are incredibly needed. We call them shamanoid personalities. There's about 4% of the entire human population, any human population, about 4% of shamanoid characteristics. It actually happens to be identical to the number of androgynous characteristics. So LGBT people and shamanoid people are about 4% each. And then 92% of the population, any population, New Guinea, China, Germany, Greenland, doesn't matter. 92% of any population are regular Joes and Jills, and they're just perfectly happy to just mimic their neighbors. That's okay. But the problem with the regular Joes and Jills is they don't understand the value of the shamanoids. So they go after the shamanoids. They call lynch mobbing. And a lot of the big tech guys are very aware of this because a fantastic French professor at Stanford called René Girard, who was the master to Peter Thiel, for example, when Peter Thiel was a student at Stanford. Girard taught Peter Thiel everything. And Girard was a fantastic thinker of lynch mobbing and why the problem is with lynch mobbing. And what was great that Girard was there is that happened right before the internet came along and the paradigm shift started happening. Because here's the switch. When the paradigm shift happens, all of a sudden the shamanoid characters that everybody thinks are the lunatics at the margins of society become the leaders because they are the ones who just happen to be in the new place and understand the new times, and therefore they become the new elite. Therefore, in our new book coming out in August, Process Event for me, Neo-Syndicist, we wrote an exodology. So if you look at the Exodus in the Bible, there was clearly a small minority of people in Egypt who were outcasts. They were some kind of slaves, although they were smart. They were treated like shit. And they just came to a point when they said, listen, why are we even staying here? Why don't we go somewhere else? And they conducted an exodus. And basically, this guy Moses and his brother Aaron and their sister Miriam, three, again, power triad, they walked around and asked everybody, so who wants to join us and go somewhere else? It's not going to be the Nile. It's not going to be as comfortable as this. There's going to be less people and we can do what we want. We're going to leave. We're going to get out. Hey, exactly what you and I are interested in today. New city-states, tried new, what if we just leave and start fresh somewhere? So they did. They walked out, started fresh, 40 years later, built the promised land, and introduced monotheism to the world, and nothing has been the same ever since. They actually even introduced a new alphabet to the world about 800 before Christ. They revolutionized the way we write and think. So the Hebrews and the Phoenicians came out of Egypt, and they came out of Egypt precisely because they were just fed up. They said, we're leaving. So the question is, who does an exodus anywhere in the world today? Those are the people I'm interested in. That's how you and I got connected, because I love these people who said, well, I'm not going to stay here. I'll go somewhere else. And there we'll pursue exactly what I think is the right thing. And these are the people who say, technology is being adapted to too slowly, and the old institutions are trying to control it. I'm out. I want an environment where new technologies are embraced. We can start build a laboratory, see what happens. We're willing to take risks. We want to move history forward, want to accelerate history, and we don't want any of the old institutions to have any influence over us at all, right? And these are now the wealthiest places on the planet. Even in rudimentary form, places like Dubai and Singapore are now the wealthiest places on the planet, which proves the theory. The paradigm shift is here. The exodology is where we should look. So the question is, where can we go to then do what we want to pursue?